Hockey Games at the Globen in Stockholm. Russia, Czechoslovakia, Finland and the host nation. Today we'll be seeing the big Scandinavian clash between Sweden and Finland. This is Gary Moran. With me in the commentary box, Alex Dampier, to watch Sweden versus Finland. And I think right now we're about ready for the national anthems before the game. Sweden versus Finland then, the Sweden Hockey Games, and Sweden and Russia, the two participants with points already on the board. And this one, Alex Dampier, could be a fiery encounter as well. Both these nations are big supply countries these days for the NHL.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of talent coming out of Sweden, and of course a lot of excellent hockey players out of Finland. I think both nations are producing a lot of quality players. I think it'll show today in the play. They'll play a very tight style of hockey, I would think, and probably a fair bit of hitting.
Big crowd here, well over 11,000 to watch this one. Referee Nikolai Morozov from the Soviet Union. What sort of a game might we see? What from the officials? We've not seen a Russian official so far in the Sweden Hockey.
Well, the Russians they're a little different. I think they'll allow a bit of stick work, but I don't think they like the boarding and the open ice, actual good body checks. They're a little bit different the way they call the game from North American style.
Well, we're underway, and it's Sweden against Finland, if you like, the unofficial Scandinavian Championship match of the tournament. And changes in net mining for both these teams since we last saw them. And Lindmark takes over from Ridderwall in the Swedish nets, and Tammy takes over from Lindfors in the Finnish nets. And it's Finland pushing down right wing through Suominen into the corner. Right winger doesn't get there. And a problem there for Rutanen, doesn't get back, and then tied up around the Swedish nets, but Sweden luckily come away with it after it bounces off the pipework. Early plays could be crucial here, Alex.
Yeah, I see they've got their top Swedish line out, and they're putting the pressure on right away. I think it's important that they get the jump on Finland early and try to establish that they're the favorite team of tonight's game.
Well, a big shot from Anderson there, rebounds over the full length of the ice, and he has to go back to collect there from Johnson. Here comes Anderson in the corner, backhanded to Johnson. Lots of NHL experience in Tommy Johnson. And it materialises sometimes with a quick cuff over the back of the head of an opponent after he's cleared on. He's a chance for Salan. And he's been drafted. And that's why.
Yeah, he's just a youngster here. I think he's only about 20 years old, and he's got the possibility of an NHL career ahead of him if he decides to take it.
Nick Matikinen, the coach there, will have been pleased with that attack from the 20-year-old. But it was a good save there from Lindmark.
You look at the contrasting, you know, you've got Hakan Lube, he's probably 31 or 32 years old, and then you've got the youngster on the other side who's just 20, and one career coming to an end and the other one just starting.
Jarvenpää then with the responsibility for the Finns, trying to win possession, and he does. But then the play's broken up and Sweden managed to break out.
And the goaltenders, Gary, are going to play a big part. They have so far, and both these goals. Lindmark in particular has something to live up to after his partner Ridderwall played against the last game. Played excellent.
Keskinen and Virta linking up well, trying to set something up, but the Swedes seem to be swarming centre ice at the moment and cutting off the route to go.
Well, I think both teams realize there's a lot of attack, and it's actually the game's going at a very good pace. There's been some good scoring chances already, and I think it'll turn into a fairly fast, hard skating game.
Hansen had a chance there, but clutched somewhat. Berglund plays it wide, and the Swedes managed to dump it in again. Mikowski brings it forward for the Finns to Peltomer. Feisty play, Peltomer. Things tend to happen when he's on the ice, but Stillman blocks that one out.
It'll be interesting to see tonight if Finland use Blomqvist as much as they did the other night.
Gustafsson trying to break there. Gustafsson with a lot of experience. Both sides of the Atlantic. And the Swedes looking more composed in these early stages.
They're definitely taking the big part of the play. They look more confident and moving the puck around. They set up some good scoring chances.
Well, plan on the shot there from Berglund, and he had a good opportunity there, and has been well set up by Lidstrom and Forslund. Now the Finns get a chance, but Lundqvist can't reach that one. Almond gets another chance, takes his time, tries to set it up. Finns definitely struggling to set at the moment.
Well, they're under pressure a lot. I think Sweden over here quite a giveaway.
Forslund with a chance, gets it forward.
They're under pressure a lot. Sweden's really doing a good job of shutting down lanes and forcing some bad plays. But
Forslund showing there that back-checking works as well if it plays out. A little bit of stick work going on there involving Tommy Johnson. I told you he learned a thing or two in the NHL out of the veteran side.
Yeah, I think he had to right off the bat, or he even set back and bag.
Johnson there to Samuelsson. Swedes run forward, dump it in. Get their men in there in numbers. Josefsson going in the play for the first time, gets a shot. Good save there from Tammy. Well, if he wasn't awake, he is now.
Just shows you, Gary, a quick turnover by the Finns, and the Swedes are taking advantage. You know, they could easily been up 2-0 right now.
And Samuelsson and Johnson trying to set up the Swedes, and I think this is the best game we've seen so far in the tournament.
There's a lot more about it. It looks like everybody wants to win this game, and it's going to be a good confrontation, I think.
Carlbach sets his teammates up. Big shot from Anderson. Did he keep it in? It didn't cross the blue line. Yes, it did, says the linesman.
You're right, Gary. This is going to be a good game. I think the two nations really have something to prove. The ring's full, and they're both similar styles of hockey. They're both quite aggressive and very direct approach to the game.
No score then, but those fans have come dressed for dinner, haven't they? And there's Harry Tikkanen, the Finnish coach. He'll be pleased with it so far, though. They're soaking up the pressure, and they haven't got a goal down.
Yeah, they're basically the visiting team here, really. So, get through the first 10 minutes, I think you're quite happy. Keep it as tight as possible.
I think that's Hakanlu being called there for offside. And a little shake of the head there from the Stanley Cup gold winner. He thought he managed to keep a blade back just enough to erase the whistle, but not so.
I think they're looking for him a lot tonight. They expect a lot of his experience and his ability to open up the game.
Well, they'd also be looking a lot for Mats Naslund, but we did hear tell that he might be injured. We haven't seen a lot of him so far, so he's riding the pine at the moment. And I can lose the man that will be asked to pick up the slack. He's Carmack, his line mate, Tulu, who tries the short angle shot, but that's blocked out and kicked away by Tammy. Lundqvist tries to get the Swedes going. Nice shot, nice sliding pass, and the chance of a shot from Carmack. But again, Tammy's equal to it, shut the stable door, and whistle for icing.
Whereas the Swedes, Gary, are trying to rotate everything down low and keep everything away from the blue line, and they're doing a good job. They're getting the Finnish defense running around and chasing. They're going to create some good chances that way.
Well, the Swedes are also shaking and mixing their lines just a little bit. They have a little bit of spare capacity in that department, whereas the Finns tend to keep their units together throughout the game.
I think the Finns are a little younger hockey team too.
Well, there's a lot of experience and a wealth of experience in the Swedish side. Berglund and Victorson there combined well in that opening victory. And Czechoslovakians got to know the names Berglund and Viktorsen if they didn't already know it. Here they come again. Globen. A little bit of stick handle, a little bit of shimmy. But then Virta was equal to it. And collected, and now the Finns get the chance to set up. Push it forward through Keskinen. Very robbed and robbed well. These teams stand up on the blue line well, don't they, at this level?
Yeah, they do. They're not going to give away that zone at all. The Finns now seem to be getting together just a little bit. This line here in particular are skating well and moving. They keep their feet moving all the time and they're not standing still. That's the main thing with rink this size.
Just squirted off the skate there, and Keskinen couldn't reach it, and here comes Viktorsen. The Finns too standing up and checking away and not being frightened to take the body. Pass across the face of the goal, but Gustafsson couldn't get there in time. Now he's got possession. Feeds it back to point, long shot, well smothered by Tammy. A little bit of argy-bargy in front of the net, but nothing too serious. Just welcoming each other to tonight's game. Still no score first period, but a good first period as well.
Yeah, it's going well. I think the goaltender's been tested fairly early. They both had some quality shots on them. And the play's been fast and furious for the tournament. Quite often the games have just been a little bit slower, but there seems to be a lot at stake here tonight.
Well, the last we've seen Martin Asplund coming out for the Swedes, lining up left wing alongside Gustafsson at centre. And Kivila will try to win possession, and does win possession for the Finns. And they get the chance to bring it forward through Virta. Kivila takes over again from Virta and dumps it forward.
He's a good mobile defenseman.
Gustafsson. Samuelsson joining the attack, beats Asplund, one shot off target. Set up again though, he's Forsland. Eriksson on the play as well. But the Finns smother to bring it forward. And Haltinen dig it out of the boards. Double team, but Kivila takes over. Takes the shot. Takes it too long. He conned himself out of possession there.
I think you wish he'd shot now. We haven't seen Blomqvist too much. He's just got the puck now, but he played so much the other night. I was wondering if he might have been injured, but he's a key man to the defense or the Finns' offense attack from the back.
Well, he tried to bring it forward there, but he got tied up, and now we get a 3-on-1 break for Sweden. Chose to shoot, and a pass would have been better there to his line mate Stromvall and Karlbach, I think. Anderson struggling there as he tried to skate back. On pass causing him problems. So now the Finns just seem to have an edge to their play.
Yeah, they're hustling quite a bit harder what they did at first. Seems to be a bit of urgency about them just now. You can see, Gary, that penalties will play a big part in this game. Whoever's unfortunate enough to draw a penalty could cost them the game.
Lidström, he had a big game the other night as well, and he seems to have been a little bit quiet. Joined the attack there, but couldn't stole it. Tormisto dumps it in, and Lidström's back to collect. Trusts it to his forward, Hakanloo. As he is at Calgary, he'll have learned something there. The Finns that get the chance to shoot through soon enough. But it's half blocked and way off target. Sully was in the corner there, trying to win it back. Now Sweden resorting to a little bit of dump and chase. Get some of the pressure off. Hakanloo sets up Karlbach, but nothing comes of it. Lidström now gets it forward. And again. Stretching too much for that one, can't do anything. Ruutinen brings it forward. Tormisto. Nieminen loses out in the corner. Swedes there mob-handed this time.
Yeah, the Finns, Gary, their defense really take a part in the offense, more so than what the Swedes seem to do. It's a big part of their game. They've got some very good offensive defensemen.
Well, the Swedes having to dig deep here to try and keep possession. Berglund can't get it across to Forstland. The Finns get the chance to bring it forward. Johnson slows things down to Samuelsson, floats it behind the net. Berglund again, shovels it forward to Victorson. Johansson takes it over the line. There's the whistle. Halfway through the first period then. Sweden 0, Finland 0. The Sweden hockey games at the Globe Arena in Stockholm. Gary Moran and Alex Dampier in the commentary box, and it's Sweden 0, Finland 0, halfway through the first period, but a cracking period so far, Alex.
Yeah, things are going very well for both teams. Really, they're both working hard. I think the coaches have got to be happy with both clubs. They've had some quality chances, and you know, the whole aspect of both teams seems to be quite sharp tonight.
Well, if Naslund was injured at the start of this one, that little skate early in the first period seems to have done wonders for him. He's out there now on his regular line alongside Eriksson, and they could do with a little bit of Naslund magic.
Well, he's fully capable of doing it, so he's certainly got to keep an eye on.
Well, he manages to turn and twist and turn and keep the pressure on the Finns, but the dump goes astray, and Lorila manages to get it forward. In come the Finns through Halpakowski, but Lindmark just steers that one harmlessly away. Gustafsson trying to get something going for the Swedes, and manages to dig deep for possession on the boards. Lidström at the blue line hoping for possession and a long shot, but it goes in deep. I'll have to wait till the forwards clear the blue line before going back in. That's the way it works out though. Josephson getting a lot of ice time since he was drafted into the Swedish squad. Now he drops back to help out on defence as the Finns bring it forward to number 5, Jutila. Opposite number 5 though, robs him, and Stillman. It's got a bit messy all of a sudden.
Well, both teams are using the boards a lot, and they're trying to keep the play wide, and there's the Swedes are standing up on the blue line and trying not to let the Finns get a quick break.
Ampa sets up Lundqvist and joins the attack again.
That could be a problem for them. Their defense is getting caught up several times, and unless they got some forwards backing them up, they're going to get burnt. Maybe not right away, but it could happen later on when the legs are a little tired.
Carmack got it forward there to Hakan Lube, and he came round his man and got the shot away. But Tammy was equal to it. Goalkeeper's having a good game so far. We haven't seen that many shots on goal, but the shots we've seen have been good quality shots.
Yeah. You know, you talked about Lundqvist again. There he was on the offense, and here he is now right in front of the net, helping to clean up around the Swedish attack.
Two-way player if ever there was one.
Yeah, they've got some very good defensemen who really like to handle and skate with the puck.
Good atmosphere here at the Globe Arena as well, and a spectacular setting for what's turning out so far to be quite a spectacular game. Certainly the best of the tournament so far. A bit of repair to the ice there. Someone must have landed toe first.
There's a lot more speed here tonight, Gary. The last few games have been a little bit slow, to be polite. There seems to be a bit of urgency here tonight. Both clubs are very keen. Of course, like you say, it's a Scandinavian rivalry, and they're the two top teams in that part of the world.
Well, I don't know if that linesman's a carpenter by profession. Certainly a little bit of ice sculpting going on, and the fans trying to get behind, even the visitors, the Finnish. But the Swedish fans fighting their nails at the moment. I suppose the home nation, the host nation, is under most pressure at the moment, Alex.
Well, I think they always expect to be a tight game, but you know, they always think that their home team can pull through, and like you say, it's quite a rivalry going here between these two nations.
England wins the draw for the Finns. They're trying to break out, but good forechecking, good hustle from Sweden. We've got a penalty. Well, not a penalty, just a high stick whistle against Tuomisto. Oh, actually, no, it was against Lorila, wasn't it? And we'll have a face-off just to the right. The Finnish goalkeeper, Ami. The Swedes send their first line out there, Rundqvist. Centre, he wins the draw. Here comes Hakan Lube, gets the shot away. Tammy gets a piece of it, steers it wide. Swedes keep it in. Pops over the stick though of Karlbach, and the Finns get a chance to clear.
Swedes are definitely hemming them in right now. They're standing up on the blue line. They're not just letting them swing out the way I think the Finns would like to.
I think the Finnish coach, Tikkanen, would like to remind his players there is another end to the ice, and now Tuuma still finds it. For the first time in a long time.
They're good once they're in there, though. The Finns, they really wheel well in the offensive zone.
Well, they haven't forgotten what to do when they get down the other end, have they?
Well, that's a problem with a lot of teams, you know, when they in the defensive zone they struggle, and they're so offensively minded. The defensive zone struggles.
Johnson had a chance to pass to Victorson or Berglund, but chose to shoot himself, but it went astray. Here's Victorson. Another shot wide. Tammy's shouting at his defenseman to get out to the point man and try and tidy things up. They'll be happy to let the long shots come in because keeper Tammy should deal with them, shouldn't he?
Well, I think he's a bit concerned. He's being left alone a bit back there. The Finns are trying to come out. Next thing you know, the Swedes have got possession again, and the Finns have left the zone. They're not staying in long enough to make sure they've got clean possession. Right there, we've got guys leaving the zone, and Sweden's got the puck again.
Well, Keskinen was definitely over the blue line before the puck crossed the blue line. Couldn't argue about that. It was an offside whistle. Face-off which the Swedes win and win well. Here's Anderson. Victorson. Lundqvist with the long shot. Tammy well out of his crease there. Stees it away with the blocker. And I thought Johansson was going to make something out of nothing there, but they smother him on the boards. Here come the Finns again.
Sweden's still playing a spoiling game. They're having them in well.
Well, I think they need to forecheck, don't they, to try and stop those defensemen overlapping and joining the forwards.
Well, that's the strength of Finland. I think their offensive strength of defense, and right now they seem to be stemming that flow out of the zone.
Well, Salan, 20-year-old, drafted by Washington, I believe. Loses out there, and the Swedes get the chance to set up. Here comes Lidström. Works it forward, shuffles it out to Naslund. Naslund's shot deflects off his own man into the corner. Kively manages to spoil it, and ooh, that could have been dangerous, but Lidström cut it out sweetly. Swedes giving the Finns a bit too much room there at the moment. Trying to capitalise on the space they're creating themselves when they steal possession. Just have to hope they do steal possession and the Finns don't go all the way.
The Finns are strong, Gary, once they get into the offensive zone. I would think they'd start dumping it in and trying to create some pressure. They're losing a lot of play in the neutral zone.
Here comes Peltonen. And it makes things happen. It's well rubbed out on the boards though. And the Swedes bring it forward now. With Samuelsson getting ahead of steam up. Fires it forward to Stromvall. A long shot coming in from the blue line from Johnson. Smothered by Tammy.
Again, there's a good case of Tammy being left alone. You know, two Swedish players in front of the net, and where's his defense? They're nowhere to be found.
And he covers up, and there were two Swedish players all over him, like you say.
It's all right to be good offensively, but they got to get back and help that goaltender. They're going to run into trouble. Their legs get tired, and they won't be back there.
Well, Johnson knows that Pelton is a dangerous player, and that's why he tied him up. First period, still no score. And the fans still in good voice as well here in the Globe Arena. Another long shot from Samuelsson. The longer it goes on though, like this, the better it looks for Finland, doesn't it? The longer they hang on without dropping a goal.
Well, I think they can withstand the pressure. The hometown crowd's going to get on Sweden just a little bit. They'll probably start getting a little impatient soon.
Josephson goes forward for Sweden, but it's pumped out to centre ice. Stromvall has to go back and collect and feed Anderson. Anderson, little slip there. Can he regain possession? Uses his foot and then slides it forward. Better than losing possession, at least you dump it in and force the Finns deep into their own zone. Hackenloob stretches there, but didn't quite keep it in without it coming over. There's Peter Anderson.
I must say, Gary, I expected a few more goals than what we're getting right now. I thought there'd be a couple in this period anyway, and I suppose, I don't know, with all the scouts over in the NHL, they must be seeing some very good hockey. Quite interested in seeing what's going on here.
That's right, some 47 scouts dotted around the stands here watching this one. The Red Wings are here, the Rangers, the Kings, the Flames, and in fact Nick Beverley, the assistant general manager of the Kings, is here, and Nick Poland from the Red Wings organisation. But they like the Scandinavian players now in the NHL.
Well, particularly the Finns. The Finns are making a real mark for themselves as being good, tough, gutty hockey players.
Well, here they go now. Trying to get something going. It's Suominen. A lot of these guys have been drafted by NHL clubs already. And those coaches and scouts will just be keeping an eye on their property, seeing how it's developed, seeing whether there's something they should be doing there. Sweden keep the pressure on. Hackenloob in the corner. Loses out to Suominen. Suominen can't find his man. Nieminen. And the Swedes get the chance, and Loob gets the chance to get it in again and manages to shuffle it forward. Doesn't look to be much on here for Sweden. Berglund. 6 players queuing up on the boards. Tunnel the bus around. As the puck goes deep and Lorilla goes back. Finns change on the fly, get some fresh legs out there. Good pass forward, but Jarvenplan couldn't quite get through into the slot area quick enough to get a touch on it. Deflect it past Peter Lidmark. Lidmark's coming out of his goal well there and helping the defence.
Well, he's going to have to. They're putting so much pressure on him when they do get in there. The Finns, you noticed twice there, the Finn defense were right down low. Laurel and his partner had gone down into the high slot area. So, they're putting the pressure on when they get in there.
It'll take ages to get there, and when they get there, they seem to stay there for ages. And here's that hustle again, and Lidmark again with the poke, with a big stick. Keskinen hustling behind, but this time it squirts free. And Johansson can bring it forward. Victorson takes over. But the Finns got back. No one's gone anywhere though. Samuelsson. Tommy Samuelsson brings it forward. Behind his net to help his defence. Take the heat off the puck and slow it down so they can collect and get possession good, but it's squirted all the way down the other end, and now Johnson brings it forward. Or rather, he passes it to Samuelsson, and Samuelsson has the job bringing it forward. He tries to dump it in. He's level for his trouble.
The Finns are doing a better job now standing them up. They're obviously changed their tactic a little bit. They're not letting the Swedes just walk over the blue line like they were earlier on.
Well, still no score. And spectacular arena. It's not full by any means, but there are 11,500 people enjoying this one. Been well worth watching so far. Gustafsson leaves it for Hackenloob. Hackenloob tries the backhand pass back to Gustafsson. And the Finns just sneak in and rob them. Good play by Werther. Kievler goes in front of the net to see if any crumbs come his way, but afraid not. That's the end of the first period. 0-0 scoreline, bit of argy at the end, but no goals. Sweden 0, Finland 0. Shots on goal. Finland have 3, Sweden have 11. Neither of them, although there were some quality shots in there, many goals to their credit. And teams go to the dressing room. End of the first Sweden hockey games. The Globe Arena in Stockholm. Sweden 0, Finland 0. Second period action just underway. And the 4 teams taking part in this tournament, alongside these two, the East European nations of Russia and Czechoslovakia. Alex, 4 of the best nations in the world, and we hear tell that Canada and America are interested in the Sweden Hockey Games tournament for next year. Yeah, I think they'll probably use it for a build-up to the Olympics. So I imagine you're probably going to look at 8 teams in here next year. It could be a very, very good tournament. Excellent build-up to the World Championship. Lorilla brings it forward for Finland, shuffles it forward to Suominen, and Suominen's not really got it together in this game so far. It's all hustle, lots of shakes of the shoulder, and then he loses possession down at his feet. Long shot there from Hakanlu, but nothing comes of that. Now the Finns go straight down the other end with a shot from Jarvenpää.
Certainly the pace is back up again. It seemed to be slowing down at the end of the first, but they're hard at it again right now.
Berta gets it forward from the blue line for the Finns, but no one hustles in time to collect, and the Swedes get the chance to bring it forward. Berglund with the shot. That took a deflection. Keeper Tammy did well there. And it's a goal.
Excellent play, Gary.
Berta joining in from defence. And a cracking play. Berta brings it forward from defence, shuffles his way through, and plays it in off Lindmark. Good goal.
As the defenseman got caught looking there. He had his head down, Gary. He looked at the puck. That was a bad mistake. It's something you wouldn't expect out of a guy at this level, to drop his head and play that nickel-dime move through the legs.
Yeah, Berta bringing it forward from the defence. As we've said, the defence will help. Shuffles it to Keskinen, and he just slips it through all the way. 1:33 gone then in the second period. And the Finns take the lead, and we did say that they've been soaking up the pressure well and could surprise a few people with the opening goal, and that's the way it's gone.
Well, they've had more shots in the first 2 minutes than they had the first period. So obviously they've done something between the periods to get them going.
Early goal, second period. Good time to score one. And well, Matti Tikkanen, the Finnish coach, must have got something right in the interval.
Well, they're certainly they've changed their tactics a little bit, Gary. I think Finland were dumping it in and getting possession down low, which they're good at. We keep saying that, and I think they'll have to keep doing that if they want to keep the pressure on Sweden. They can't afford to be stick handling and trying to play higher on the blue line. They're going to get in trouble.
Well, they've been pushing in very deep, and then when the Finns manage to break out, if the defence joins the attack, it gives them all that extra pressure, doesn't it? And that's the way it worked out with Berta assisting to Keskinen.
Sweden are so good offensively. I'm surprised they don't try to dump it in and keep possession. They seem to outmuscle the Finn defense quite often.
Forslund and Stromvall now hustling for Sweden. The home fans will be looking for them to get straight back into it. And the Finns have had 20-odd minutes already of soaking up pressure. So I'm sure they'll carry on in the same vein. Helminen brings it forward. Sweden changing on the fly. Karlmark goes out there now for them. Johnson just backhands it anywhere.
Finland are far more content just now just to keep batting the puck back in and try to keep a bit of pressure on Sweden.
Well, if the first period's anything to go by, we're in for a low-scoring game.
Yeah, they're both playing tight for sure.
Johnson to Samuelsson over the red line, fires it round the boards. Rundqvist goes to collect at the far side. Hakanlu, good play by Hakanlu, anticipated where it was going to go, took possession, then didn't really get enough steam on the shot as he tried to can open a goal from behind. Here's Hakanlu again, can he make amends?
That's where they're going to get results, I think, Gary. They're dumping in on the Finn defense, and I think the Finn defense is going to wear down eventually. They keep coming in, putting pressure on them.
Well, Ruutunen tries to deal with Karlmark, but Karlmark gets it behind the net. And then the Finns pick it off like candy.
Well, I think the Swedish coach is thinking about wearing down the Finns. I think he has to really look at their breakout strategy, and that's all keys off the defensemen. If they can get them tired, then the offense for Finland can suffer a bit.
Hakanlu anticipated well and took possession. And, well, to be honest, I honestly think he should have done better there.
You always say that, though.
yeah, it's easy from where I'm sitting. What does he know? He'd only played in the NHL for a few years.
Well,
yeah. Good player. He'll make amends, I'm sure. Now the Finns with their noses in front. Could have grown a few inches. He's Werther. He brought it forward like that for the goal. But this time it's broken up and the Swedes get the chance. Calm back. Victorson can't do anything in front there, but there's hustle there from Sweden. There's hustle. Berglund.
He just missed a very good chance there. I mean, they're all over the Finns right now, and they're creating some really good chances. They're working that puck down low, and they've got the Finn defense running ragged down below.
Well, Victorson goes full length to try and block up the move, and we're getting a penalty here from the Russian referee. I think we are. I think it's a holding penalty.
And that's something else that's going to come out of this, Gary. If they keep putting the pressure on the Finn defense, they just can't do anything about it. They're going to have to start tripping and holding and hooking. There's just too much pressure on them down there.
Well, that was Werther and teammate Salan colliding, which broke up the attack. Werther, who set up the goal, then went deep in his own zone and draws a holding penalty, timed at 4:56. So the Finn, number 23, 2 minutes for holding.
That was right out of the Calgary Stampede, that one. They did a good job of throwing him down and roping him.
Well, at least in this one he didn't stare at the referee and say, "Who me, ref?" Now Sweden have a chance on the power play to get level. A little bit of a debate. What we're going to do here, lads?
Well, again, it's going to be interesting to see the Finnish penalty killing, whether they're going to box it up or chase. Last game they boxed up and had reasonable results. We'll see what they do against Sweden.
Face off just to the right of Tammy. Samuelsson shuffles it forward. Here's Samuelsson. He's got a big shot on him. Can't get it away this time. Puts it forward to Rundqvist. Rundqvist behind the net, loses out, and the Finns play it round the boards to centre ice. In relative safety, but for how long?
Looks like the Finns are going to chase a bit, Gary. They've got good skaters in the back, and I don't think they can afford to stand around and try to let Sweden set up any kind of set plays.
Well, Ruutunen smothers Rundqvist's threat, and the Finns hustle it out again and keep possession. Now this could be some penalty killing from Jarvenpää. Ooh, what a good stop. The Finns short-handed burst the length. Jarvenpää started and nearly finished.
If the game doesn't go well for Finland, they're going to look back on that replay and wonder what happened. 3-on-1. Shouldn't have been any question of it. There should have been a goal there.
Well, Victorson and Lube go in, and the Finnish defenseman still manages to clear it. Jutila. Here come the Finns again. Who's on the power play here?
I'm sure that's what the Swedish coach is wondering right now.
And Connie Evanson got to do some thinking, methinks.
Finland are doing well. They skate well. They're a good skating team, and they're putting that to use right now. They're not standing around watching.
When they need to, they'll slap it the full length just to kill the time on the penalty. 2 minutes, remember, for Werther, for holding, timed at 4:56. Now, Johansson trying to set up the Swedes. Looking for options, skates in himself, takes the shot, comes back out from Henriksson. Hops over Rundqvist at point.
See, the Finns boxed up there, Gary, and they allowed Sweden to get a pretty good shot. You know, it was blocked by the Finn defenseman, but the thing is, the forward walked right in on the goalie and had a quality shot.
Well, that's the end of the penalty. They're back to full strength, and has to be said that the Finns penalty killing unit was working overtime there and working well.
That's typical, though, at 3-on-1. I don't know what he'd be smiling about. They almost lost a short-handed goal.
Well, he's the team doctor. He's just pleased to see Bastland out there and the rest.
Team psychologist they need right now, I think. Letting a 3-on-1 get away on them in a short-handed situation.
Right, well, it's still 1-0 to Finland. And we're approaching the halfway mark of the second period. Gustafsson wins the draw. But the shot from Eriksson was way wide of the mark. Finns can't marshal centre ice at the moment, as they were doing so successfully first period, and it's the Swedes that take possession, get the chance to set up a game as they try to play catch-up hockey.
Well, the Swedes have got the crowd behind them. I can't see them being unlucky too long. They've had some good chances, and eventually they're going to find the back of the net.
Well, the Swedes have introduced Hammarström into the play now. He's getting out there. He's like a spare guy, but a good player as well, and may not get a regular shift, but he gets lots of different shifts on different lines. He's out there trying to fire them up at the moment. Stillman, the defenseman, and there's Tammy. He's not let anything in yet. He won't start thinking about a shutout just yet, though.
No, again, he had one of his defensemen, Henderson, was right off ice, and didn't look like anybody was back covering. Fortunately, the Swedes didn't get the quick break. The Finns have got away with it for the first period and a better part of this period, and it could cause them problems eventually. I hate harping on that, Gary, but I hate seeing both defensemen up behind the opposition's net.
You're thinking of your own club side, hoping the boys are listening.
I don't know why they start listening now.
Well, a lucky break there for Finland, and Kivala comes up with possession, beats the point man. Long lofted shot, Lidmark a long way out. Lady luck on his side that time, as the shots rained in. Jarvenpää unlucky there. Jutila and Blomqvist trying to get it forward for Finland, but good hustle from Stromvall. Now the Helminen gets the chance to bring it forward for Finland. Straight through centre ice. Drops it off, picks up the pass again. Jarvinen was looking for something in the crease area, but the Swedes smothered it. Recognise the dangers. Josephson just dumps it forward as his teammates go to the bench out of shot and change on the fly. Rundqvist forward and hustling, but the Finns managed to get it forward through Harmpah.
Finns are working well again. Their breakouts are coming out clean, and they're putting a lot of offense together just now.
And Hakanloob had to go deep there to get possession and get it forward to Ken Holt, the big defenseman. It's gone scrappy again just for a moment while they settle down. Karnbach out there. Mix up the lines there for Sweden, and they've got straight now, so it's Karnbach, Rundqvist and Hakanloob. But I think the Finns know that that's a danger line, and they've got to do something about it as soon as it comes on the ice.
Well, they're standing them up quite well right now. They're not letting them come at them or wind up and get any speed and attack them. The Finns are holding them off well. They've had some chances, but they haven't collapsed under the pressure as of yet.
Well, Lorila has the chance now to bring it forward. Tied up though by Rundqvist, got a piece of him. Took the edge of his pass and set up an attack for Sweden. Good pass right across. Goes all the way to Johansson. Johansson can't get anything going. And the Finns bring it out again.
And it's the case, Gary, where the Swedish team realized that the Finn defense are doing all the rushing, and they sent two men in on the puck carrier and stripped the puck off him and had a scoring chance. That may just turn out to be the key.
Well, we're well into the second period now. Hakanloob's drawn a penalty for interference, and Salan's drawn a penalty for interference. 1-0 to Finland. And teams will skate 4 aside. Salan's gone, and Loob. 1-0 to Finland then. More action to come from the Globe in Stockholm. Halfway through the second period then from the Swedish hockey games, and it's Sweden 0, Finland 1, the host nation, with not a mountain to climb, Alex Dampier, but a job on their hands if they're going to get right back into this one.
Well, they've got to make more of the chances they've had, Gary. They've been around the net, and they've had some good quality shots, and they just haven't been able to find the back of the net. So I mean, all they need is the one, I think, and they'll start to flow in for them. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens there.
I think Finland will have to be careful that their defensemen don't go too far forward and catch the whole side out.
Yeah, I think that's the key right now for Sweden. They're going to have to really pinch and put the pressure on the Finn defense. Don't let them come out of their zone. Don't let them wheel with that puck.
Well, Tammy deals with the long shot quite comfortably there, and the home fans calling for a penalty there. But nothing given by the Russian referee, and Johansson there fluffs on a good pass into the crease area. He'd got clear on the blind side, fluffs on the pass and can't get the shot away, in Sweden come back after a finished break and bring it forward themselves. And here comes that man Johansson again, trying to make amends. Goes round the back, but the Finns are there in numbers.
And that was a quality chance, Gary. Another one that just went begging. You know, I mean, you can't miss those in a game like this. That should have been the back of the net.
Well, Keskinen, the goal scorer, clears the zone there, but Samuelsson dumps it straight back in, and now we're tied up on the boards around the blue line. Naslund gets rubbed out a little bit, and Jutila dumps it the length, and there's a whistle for icing. I think the Finns just felt under pressure there and wanted to get some fresh legs out.
Well, that might be the telling tale. We keep talking about the Finn defense, and I think on this particular team, that their defense are the key players to their breakouts. And Swedes right now are shutting them down, and I think they've created chances because they shut down the Finn defense. And I think that, you know, a couple more mistakes here, and Finland are going to find themselves in trouble.
Well, Coach Evanson's the one with something to do here. His side trail it by a single goal, and deep into the second period now. Gustafsson making sure everyone knows their jobs. I win the draw, let's get a quick shot away and try and get level. Gets it back to Johnson. Johnson shuffles it forward. Gustafsson beaten by Tammy, who gets back to the crease quickly and then follows the puck out into the corner. That'll make the hair stand up on the back of Coach Mattikanen's neck, seeing him go out there in the corners. Kivila brings it forward now.
Swedes, they've got good control right now, the Swedes, and they look very much in command here.
They trail it though by a goal to nil. Shot from Eriksson. The Swedes keep it in down the boards, but well, I say keep it in, it came out and then went back in, so we get an offside whistle. As you say, the Finns struggling a little bit at the moment. Sweden look to be on top as we see that shot coming in from Eriksson again. But
they've had 2 or 3 quality chances to score, and in the last couple minutes, and I don't know what it is. It's one of those nights when the puck doesn't bounce for you, doesn't bounce, and they're really going to have to work hard if they want to get back in this game, because things aren't going well for them around the net.
Stromvall loses the draw for Sweden, and the Finns get the chance to clear their zone. And they look to, they won't mind not adding another one if they can go in for the start of the third period a goal to the good. For once they've got, or had possession deep in the Swedish zone, and whistle from Harmpar keeps it there for them. Halminen helps out as well. But again, the Swedes break it up. Josephson though can't collect that pass, although Forslund can. His wrist shot is going high and wide. Tammy gloves it anyway and puts it down for Blomqvist. Blomqvist tries to whistle Forslund into one corner, and the puck comes across to the other, and it's with Jarvinen. He finds Jutila. Jutila finds Suominen. As the announcer, Christina Elkström, rightly points out, Whistle's gone for icing.
I think some of the boys are looking a little tired, Gary. Some of them are getting a fair bit of ice time, and Jutila and Jarvinen have put in a fairly long shift, and they put in a lot of time in the second period.
Well, they'll need to find second wind if they're going to hang on to this goal-to-nil lead. The home fans getting behind their team now, trying to lift them and get that push going as we head towards the second interval. Here come the Swedes, big shot from Lidström. Tammy's doing well. He throws it out there into the corner and says, come on, you want to do that, let's get on with it. Doesn't cover up and go for the whistle. Lubes in the play, but the Finns bring it out again. Tammy's keeping them in it at the moment.
Well, right now the Finns aren't watching their point men at all. That's 2 shots in a row the Swedes have had from the the point position, and you just can't allow that. I mean, those are good shots, and they're going to get through eventually.
Lidström and Suominen hustle on the boards. Nieminen goes to help, and Stillman goes over to help his blue line teammate for Sweden. It's dig deep, boys. We're on the boards now.
Well, the Swedes are playing tougher right now. They're coming up with the puck along the boards, and if you control the boards in the corners, you're going to win the game.
Rundqvist to Lube and back to Rundqvist, and he takes it in to the Finnish zone. Carlback can't get onto it. Lube can keep it in there. He's Carlback again now in the far corner. Rundqvist behind the net. Tommy Jönsson joins the attack. Not fed to him though. The Finns stand their ground and clear it anyway. That'll be a whistle for icing.
Seem to get a feeling the Finns are just trying to hang on to that one-goal lead, Gary. That's a poor way to try to win the game. It always backfires on you. I think they've got to concentrate more on their offense.
Well, the referee there, Nikolai Morozov, getting into the beat.
He's let a lot more go than I expected. There's been a lot of holding and hooking, and he hasn't really done much about it.
Interesting to see the referee in this time next year when Canada and America and those teams join in this kind of tournament.
Yeah, he'll be right in his glory then. Penalty box will be full.
Johnson with the long shot. Tammy gets it at the second attempt.
It's another point shot. They've got far too much time to tee that puck up, and they're just pulling the trigger on this poor guy. He's becoming a target now.
Well, one of these big shots is just going to go all the way, isn't it?
Yeah, one of these times going to get through. And they're all screen shots. He's doing a great job keeping those out.
Heavy traffic in front of his net, blocking his view. Here comes another long one from Samuelsson. Bit of a flaw to that one, but Tammy steers that one away. Victorson goes into the corner. He's hustled out of it by Werter though. Here is Werter. Set one goal up like this. I don't think they're going to get another one out of this one. Lidmark plays it around the boards. Oh, it's gone straight to the Finns. Nieminen. Salan. The Finns lost their way just halfway through this period.
He's a good young player, that number 8 Salan.
That's no wonder he's been drafted.
Yeah, he's got a lot of skills.
Victorson. Tammy almost ducked out of that one. He was going high. Sweden caught offside. Bo Berglund to live out of a suitcase in the NHL.
I think the Swedes are getting a little frustrated right now, Gary. There's enough pros on that team. They shouldn't. They know they've got a lot of time left. They shouldn't worry about it. But they've had so many chances. I guess they're getting a bit annoyed. I think Gustafsson, if he had any of those chances around the net, he'd have put him in.
Well, Gustafsson with this face-off, and Hammarström's gone out to join him left wing as coach Connie Evanson changes his lines up for Sweden. A little bit of fire there. But Finland bring it forward, and Alpakowski just dumps it in. As you say, the Finns look as though they're content with a one-goal lead, but I fear it might not be enough. Sweden can't quite keep it in the zone. Vitikowski hustles them. And the dump just comes through to Jutila. Here's Kivala. His pass goes astray, and big Ken Holt dumps that one in. It's deflected, so there's no whistle. Fans enjoying this one.
Well, I think if Sweden can score a goal, they'll enjoy it a lot more. I think all Sweden needs one goal here right now, and the crowd should really get them back into it.
Well, Blomqvist tried to play there without his stick. The whistle's gone anyway. I believe we've got a penalty on the play.
These two guys are logging the ice time, Gary. As the game goes on, they're out there more and more.
Well, Helmanen will try and do a job for them. Werter, Blomqvist. And backhand shot there. Vitikowski. Victorson, of course. Here comes Josephson.
Swedes just keep that low rotation going down in the offensive zone, and they're giving the Finns all sorts of troubles. See the Finn defense just resorting to slapping the puck out. Right now, they just want to get out of this period right now. That's all they want.
Get a breather. A cup of warm tea with sugar in it, I think.
I don't know what they drink.
Well, the Swedes, if they manage to rip a goal here, another shot through traffic. That one came in from Stillman, but again Tammy was equal to it. If the Swedes manage to get level, they maybe will have a little sip of champagne.
Right now, the Finns, they really need a change of lines. They're just not happy with the situation it is right now. Here it is, they're icing it. They've tried 2 or 3 times. Virta tried to ice it 2 or 3 times. They just couldn't get it out. So that's a real sign that they're getting tired.
The amazing thing is that the Finns still lead it 1-0.
Yeah, it is amazing, really. I would expect if the Finn goalie gets tired, along with the defense, then things are going to open up.
It's got to be the more tired of the 2 goalies. He must have dealt with more shots this period.
You know, the Finns are still dangerous, though. Like, these faceoffs are so important. You know, anything could happen here, and the Finns will have to play it tight. There's too many shots from the points.
I don't know what the totals are, but it feels to me that Sweden's out shooting the Finns 3-1 at the moment.
Yeah, and quality shots, too.
Zooming in behind the net, hustles for Finland, but it's the Swedes that come up with it. Hakan Lube out there. There's Rundqvist. Back pass to Lube. Lube winds up for the shot, just wide. And he comes across to collect his own rebound on the other wing. Good play from Lube.
Well, we finally see the Swedish defense getting into the offense. They haven't done that much tonight, and that might be the key now. They're going to start getting into the play, and if they do, they're going to cause some troubles.
Well, Tammy has to cover up again from yet another shot from point. And it was when the Finnish defence were helping their forwards that Finland looked the most dangerous.
Yeah, well, obviously, if you can get 4 good skaters in there working hard and creating the chances, things are going to happen. I think the Swedes now are in a position where they've got to start getting some offensive thrust together here, or they're going to find themselves sitting 1-0 coming into the 3rd period.
Rundqvist at centre then, Hakan Lube right wing, Carmack left wing. Look to level things for Sweden. Tammy the backstopper for the Finns. And Rutinen no doubt was just saying to him, keep it up, keep going. Let's get into the break with our noses in front. Mitchell plays it round the boards. Finland can't get it out though. Carmack goes in for some hustle. Lube goes to help him, but his back pass goes to no man, and into no man's land. Samuelsson drops it off for Rundqvist. Rundqvist drops his shoulder, fakes one shot, manages to get the pass away to Carmack to Lube, and Tammy covers up again.
You know, it's scary. The Swedes are now isolating the Finn defense. They're going man-to-man. They're not letting the Finn defense come out with that puck at all. Well, each defenseman is being covered. So that's going to make it far more difficult. Now the forwards are going to have to come down and help the Finn defense, or there just isn't going to be the breakouts that they need.
Well, they opened them up. Swede was a nut there. And the shot from Hakan Lube in the end was right on the big Finnish logo. And he might be kicking himself a bit wider than that, and could have done some more damage. Another shot comes in from point. And Virta was a little slow getting back. Keskinen as well to help the defence, help the netminder out there. Here's a shot coming in from Ken Holt. Berglund's chopping away around him now.
The Swedes are definitely taking control of this game, and the Finns look tired. I mean, they look lifeless, even around the face-offs. There's no real get up and go to them.
Well, they've got to hang on. Bo Berglund. On his birth certificate it says Charles, but better known as Bo. He takes the face-off. He'll try and get it back to Johansson. They'll look for a quick shot. Johansson can't get his stick onto it. Ken Holt can't keep it in. And Victorson has to go back to collect. Swedes dump it in, and we're into the last minute of the 2nd period. 1 more minute to go for Tammy. If he can keep a clean sheet to the end of this period, then the Finns can do something in the interval and sort themselves out, I think.
I think they'll be very lucky to come out of this one goal up at this stage. The Swedes have had all the chances, and if it hadn't been for that man right there, Tammany, I think the Swedes could be 3 or 4 goals ahead.
Well, it was the Finns who scored in 1:33 through Keskinen, number 26. Since then it's been, as Alex Dampier says, mostly Sweden. And it's Sweden now, getting it forward to centre ice, although Finland do manage to dump it back in. I'll kill some of the last minute. But the Finns look as though they've been on penalty killing duty for the bulk of this period. There haven't been that many penalties, it's just felt like penalty killing duty. Kievila plays it off the boards to Peltomer. Sweden bring it straight back again to Johansson. No centre ice, the Finns will settle for anything. Jarvinen.
There's the Finns almost, you know, they had a good scoring chance. They've been in their own zone almost the whole period. All of a sudden they come out and they get a chance.
There's the hooter for the end of the second. And the Finns will be pleased with that. A 1-0 scoreline, an early score in the second period. There's the shots on goal tally. As I suspected, Sweden 15 to Finland's 5, 3 shots for 1. Only goal though, Keskinen at 1:33. Finland lead it by a goal to 0. And they'll be happy. Time to regroup in the dressing room. The Globe Arena in Stockholm then, it's still Finland 1, Sweden 0. Start of the third period action. And Alex Dampier, the Finns relieved to reach that last interval, still with their lead intact.
Well, I just hope the goaltender comes back out with the same frame of mind and a bit of luck which he had in the defenseman. I hope their legs last, otherwise they could find themselves spending the whole night in their end zone here.
Well, over 11,000 people watching this one in the Globe Arena, and many of them supporting the host nation, of course, Sweden. They'll be hoping for a leveller, and then even more from the team in yellow, playing right to left. Hakanlub shuffles it forward, but nothing comes of it for Sweden, and the Finnish team get the chance to set up a game. But that's just dumped in, and Tuomisto can do nothing but watch the Swedish defence playing it around. Carlback leaves it and goes for a change. He's Rundqvist.
Well, the Finns are putting the pressure on early, as they did the beginning of the second period. They jumped on them real hard, and they had probably three real good chances early in the period, and that was it.
Well, Johansson managed to get it forward for the Swedes there, but this is Keskinen bringing it out. Forward, we've seen quite a lot of time on defensive duty today for the Finns. Oh, stick in the face there, I thought. Number 16, Jarvenpää looked hurt. Kenny Emerson wondering if he was going on to penalty killing duty there for a high stick offence, but I don't think it's been called by referee Nikolai Morozov from the Soviet Union. Looked accidental, whatever happened.
Maybe all look accidental today. Ooh, she looks intense.
Come on, boys. All that pressure. Nothing to show for it so far. Well, I think goalkeeper Tammy's got something to show for it. He's got to be heading for a man of the match award for the Finns at the moment. Unless it goes drastically wrong for him this third period. Peltomer. And Lindmark gets a piece of it and gets it forward. Anderson. That's to Victorson.
It's a dangerous play.
Globen with the tip. Nothing comes of it, but the Swedes keep it in. Anderson. Finns looking to get enough on that to get it away, but that'll be icing.
You can see the Finns aren't going to mess around. The defense are getting the puck, and they're just shooting it around the boards. They're going to take every breather they can get right now.
Got a long way to go though if they're going to try and play for time.
Yeah, well, I suspect they're a bit tired. That's a great play right there. That could have quite easily been in the net. Any kind of luck at all, that would have been.
Play from Victorson. Good hard pass across the crease. Just wide. That could have been the leveller, but it wasn't. Hammerstrom seeing more ice time now. Gustafsson. I feel Gustafsson might be the key man. He might be the man to get something going, you know.
Well, he's a good man in the draws, so...
Wins it again, Hammerstrom. Off the skate of Blomqvist. Good hustle on the boards, though. Hammerstrom keeping it in, tied up by Harmpa and Helminen. There's been some aggression at times from these two sides.
Yeah, they're not really noted for their aggressive style of playing, and plus it's a big rink. It's quite difficult to follow your checks through and hit all the time. But on the boards, the Swedes right now are, I think, controlling the boards.
More damage to the ice surface, I believe, there.
Goaltender sharpening his skates. He's probably wanting a breather already, Gary.
I was going to say, he's just had about 20 minutes in the dressing room. You think he could have sorted that out?
I think he'll lay down every chance he gets now, get a breather.
I've seen him change his stick once or twice, do you think?
He's probably waving to the spare goaltender to get out there.
Well, his teammates win that draw for him. He's Blomqvist. It's a forward, but it clatters off the backside of Helminen. And the Swedes hustling now and swarming. There with some intensity. He's Lidström. Across to Stillman. Back to Lidström. Lidström skates in with it. Now can they build from the corner? Jarvenpää brings it out for the Finns, gets it across to his line mate. Arm pass. Lidström, who was involved in the attack moments ago, has to come back to help clear up. Hammerstrom showing his worth when he gets the chance.
Another good chance, good 3-on-2.
Ooh, there's a big slash in the back there. And he gets off the ice quick just in case the referee saw it.
Gary, there's another 3-on-2 that just went missing. It was a good setup, good shot, but over top of the net, they're going to have to start finding the target. Good set play right there.
Well, Gustafsson screens the keeper. The shot goes wide.
It was almost identical play to the other day. They played Czechoslovakia and scored a goal like that. Gustafsson cut through the middle of the net, caused the diversion, and virtually opened net.
Someone in the interval said to him, let's have a goal like we had the other day in the game against Czechoslovakia. Let's try that move.
They'll take any goal right now, whether it's last year's or... They're as unlucky as I've seen anybody.
They're doing well with the fans, though. The fans have stayed with them. They're not on their backs. They're still encouraging them and urging them to go forward. Josephson gets it back to Samuelsson. It's to Johnson. And Samuelsson just shuffles it forward, but that won't reach the forward line, Forsland. Johnson back to Samuelsson. And that pass goes astray, that'll be icing. Getting a little bit desperate, just an edge to it, but well, boys, let's get down the other end.
I think the Swedish guys have got to start feeling the pressure here now. There's a bit of tension in the crowd, I would think. I'm sure there's a few jeers that they're like most crowds. They'll be on their case soon and wondering why they're not scoring.
Well, it's still a one-goal hockey game. Finland lead it 1-0. That's the way hockey scoreline should be, of course, in an ideal world.
Well, as long as the play is good and there's a lot of chances created, it's fine. But if it's just a boring game and there's nothing created, then it's not a lot of fun to watch.
This one's been far from boring. Rundqvist against Nieminen. Sweden come up with it. Shuffle it forward.
Both teams look like they're just dumping it in and trying to keep the pressure down low on the defense.
Anderson gets it forward to Rundqvist. Hacken Lube schemes for the net. Rundqvist can't find him, but he's Karnbach. Karnbach plays it to point to Anderson. Anderson's shot smothered by Tammy. I think the defenseman might have been clipped there as it came in.
Good smart play.
Goes down to block it. Did you get a piece of the filter? I don't think so. We'll give Tammy all the credit for that one. Face off just to his right then. Rundqvist again. Karnbach on his left wing. Lube looking for an early shot, doesn't get one.
This place will erupt, Gary, if Sweden scores.
Anderson goes back, very offensively minded, Peter Anderson. Lube goes deep though to collect to try and get things going. Lundqvist goes to the net. Lube goes into the corner. And the Finns come out with the puck. Salan breaks right wing. Play goes down the left. Jarvinen. Pass right across the goal there could have done some damage with Hampakowski steaming in from point. And here come the Swedes. Back to Lube. Back. Berglund comes in, high shot. Lidström. Lube waves at the puck and tries to get it goalwards. Back scrambles, uses his hand. Makes a big hit in the back from Keskinen. And the Finns out hustle the Swedes and bring it forward. Through Hampakowski. And Salan. Henriksson can't get it round the legs. Sweden can't get it forward.
Just a little bit scrappy here right now, Gary. I think Finland are desperately trying to hang on, and Sweden may be trying a little too hard. Everybody's trying their own little thing here, not working together that well.
And Victorson flops one forward. Berglund collects possession for Sweden, and Victorson comes back to try and free him, and at least gets the chance to dump it. Here comes Victorson. He can't get it. The Finns get a chance to break. It's a one-on-one. Wittkowski drops it off to Paltema. The keeper, I think, did enough initially, and then everyone flies in and smothers it. We're going to have a discussion about this one.
That certainly would have caused some problems there. If Finland had scored, that would have been a real blow to the Swedes, especially after the Swedes have had quite a bit of the pressure.
Wittkowski drops it off for Paltema. And Paltema is level by Stillman.
It looks like he lost control here when he cut in on the goaltender. It looks like he just didn't quite get it. Yeah, he got hooked right there.
Well, Stillman puts...
Lindstrom got a hook on him, Gary. I think that was probably the savior right there. Otherwise, he might have put that away.
Stillman put him down in the end, but neither of these teams have got particularly big defensemen. I suppose Ken Kenholter's side and Samuelson's not too short, but they're not huge defensemen.
No, they're not. They're quite mobile defensemen. Of course, on an ice surface like this, that's what you need. You need guys that can really wheel.
Well, he's contributed to an exciting game. He's Johnson sending his tie forward. Team leader Tommy Johnson brings it forward himself, tries to go through. Looks for the penalty, I think. Hammerstrom's shot smothered by Tammy, and Gustafsson goes just in case there's a crumb, just in case there's an opportunity. Nothing comes his way, but Sweden will get a face-off just to the side of Tammy's net. With a good save, stood up, standing up well and coming out a long way, covering the angles.
He's not getting up any rebounds either, that's the other key. He even fumbled that a little bit. Gustafsson was straight in there, and he made short work of it, I think. He really hasn't had a good scoring chance yet, Gustafsson, and I think he's probably one of the best goal scorers that we have on the team. He gets a chance around the net, I think he'll put it in.
Sweden running the risk of tired legs at the moment because they're playing with just the two forward lines. Cook's in the crowd, and Samuelsson and Armpa square off to each other. I guess they'll understand each other being Finnish and Swedish.
I don't think you really need a common language out there, Gary. Communication isn't a problem.
The luck has it. Anyway, Carback left wing, Lundqvist centre. Lube on the right. Sweden desperately try and get on level terms. 5 minutes into the third period. Newman tries to clear.
Well, the Swedes have done a good job of shutting down the Finnish offense, but they just can't seem to get the job done right around the net. They're doing everything but putting the puck in.
Chance here for Sweden to build something. Lube in the corner. Back to point man Johnson.
Right there, they had 4 men in Sweden, 1 man back, 4 men in around the net.
Third period then, still Finland 1, Sweden 0. The penalty given to Jarvinen behind the play. He draws 2 minutes for hooking. Yeah, he just tied up Tommy Johnson and pulled him down, spoiled the play. He goes to the box for 2 minutes. Sweden get a power play chance. They trail it by 1-0. Sweden hockey games then. Sweden on the power play, 7 minutes into the third period. Finland though lead by 1-0. Crucial power play.
Well, you think right now this is Sweden's chance to get back into it. I really think if Sweden can score, then floodgates could open there. They've just had too much pressure on Finland. I can't see them withstanding that kind of pressure all night long.
Well, they've got their first line out there again at Karnbach, Lundqvist and Lube. Lorila though, hustling on the boards, he keeps the puck there. It's the big size 12 boot on that one, I think.
Yeah, I think somebody should have stood back and given that size 12 a little tap. Make sure he got his foot out of there.
Not everyone coaches the way the GB coach does.
Well, Sweden, you know, they do very, very well 5-on-5. They get their power play out there and they seem to go stale. They don't, you know, they're less effective.
Well, they've got possession now. Johnson. Karnbach and Lube playing the wings. Karnbach there dumps it down into the corner. Lube comes round the back to collect. Drops it off for Karnbach again. Back to Johnson, but it hops over his stick. And he has to retreat in cohorts with Samuelsson. Try and get something going. Johnson again. He's hooked down though. Fortunately keeps possession for Sweden. Keeps the pressure in the zone, and he's Karnbach. Hack and Lube out front. Power play, the Finns boxing it out. Kivila's out there, Paltimer up front. Here's Paltimer. Ices it just to kill some of the time. Well, the icing whistle can't really have gone because they're on penalty killing duty. That's precisely what happened.
A little computer call there, Gary.
Yeah, mix-up from the officials. You can't get it right all the time.
He certainly had us confused for a minute.
And you
I thought I'd missed something there somewhere along the line.
Penalty's over now. And Sweden ruining their chance of man advantage. Have to try and do something even strength. Big shot from Ken Holt. And Tammy again covers up.
Ken Holtz had 4 or 5 really good shots from the point, and through a crowd too. He's not just getting clear shots, there's always guys in front, and one of these times he's going to find his way through.
Certainly a lot of steam on the puck when it gets through as well. Look at the way he bends the stick on the ice to fire it in. Time he goes down well though and covers up. Sweden desperately trying to get level. Fans have done well though, still behind them. The Finns coming back into it, he's Harnpah.
There'll always be a threat, they're not going to lay down. They're certainly in a position to win this game without a doubt, you know, up 1-0, and all they need, if they could get lucky here and put one in.
Lundqvist got it to Jarvinen, and he got a shot on Lidmark. Lidmark was more than equal to that one.
I think they only had 8 shots first 2 periods. They're leading 1-0. They'll have to do a lot better than that in the third if they expect to get another goal.
That home fan saw his heroes to do well. The trail at 1-0, Finland in the lead.
Always important face-offs here. Although Sweden have done very well in their draws.
Gustafsson's done particularly well. He sort of had Niemanen's number. Not that time. Stillman though clears the zone for Sweden. We've got a player down injured. Gentle again. Gustafsson. Kentucky Gustafsson. Years and years in the NHL. catches him. Disc of vulcanized rubber, smacking the kisser. God, you're all right, says he's back up now.
Well, he's got the half shield on Gary, so might have blocked a bit of the blow on him.
Well, Sweden won't want to lose someone like Gustafsson. They've been using him repeatedly out there. Gone back whistling in, but he's guided out of the way by Jarvan Park. Finns get the chance to clear it. Well, I can't believe they're going to go through 40 minutes virtually, hanging on to a 1-goal lead.
No, I would expect, I'm surprised we haven't seen Naslund a bit more. He's got the ability to turn a game inside out at times, and he just hasn't been on it. He must be injured.
And that's my suspicion. He's Rundqvist.
The Swedes are still keeping possession. They're not finishing the attacks off.
Well, Rundqvist tries to get something going, pushes through. And again, same man, Hakenloob, Stanley Cup winner with Calgary. Settled for a goal here tonight though, so far. He's Rundqvist. Desperate measures from the Finns again. Hakenloob keeps it in the zone. Rundqvist. The linesman says it came over. Now they're clashing.
You see the frustration coming in now.
Siren throws a couple of shots there.
Well, the Swedes are doing everything but scoring, Gary, and you can see right now they're getting mad, and because the last thing they need right now is to end up in the penalty box.
Well, Hakenloob felt, and I'd give him my vote. I didn't think the puck had come all the way out, and he complained about it, and Siren gave him a couple of shots for his trouble. Did this puck cross the blue line all the way? Completely come out? Yeah, Rundqvist's 5 pads get in the way. We can't quite see. Got to go with the officials, though. Can't play hockey without them. Anderson gets it forward to Victorson.
Swedes are really putting the pressure on here. They're forechecking very hard. They're getting everybody in when they get the chance.
They're going in numbers. Berglund hustling on the corner there.
Anderson in around the net now. Got the defense around the net.
Oh, clever play on defense from Jutila. Just broke it up in time. Vitakowski's pass though goes astray for Finland, and the Swedes get a chance to build again. Here comes Berglund. Victorson stalks in behind him. Berglund tries to take the shot himself. Anderson takes a backhand shot. Victorson gets level by Helminen.
That was a good hit, nothing wrong with that. Took his man into the boards hard. There's another chance that went missing. The pass right across, and the Swedish player was just an inch or so, just barely missed contact with it.
Good hit. Clatters into the boards.
That was a good case. The Swede didn't want to go in the corner first.
Gustafsson's not injured. He's out there. Still chasing this 1-0 lead. Advantage with Finland still. Hammerstrom. Gustafsson. Can they get it back to him? Not this time. Beaten this time by Helminen on the draw. That's a giveaway. Nice shot there from Lidström. Has another go. He's had everything except a hat full of goals this game.
Well, there could have been a lot of goals. It's 1-0, but it could have easily been a lot.
Lidström all the way. Gustafsson in front. This time he's beaten. The screen works. Hammerstrom will get 1 assist. And Geriksson's asking the referee for 1. But it was Lidström from a long way out, and in all honesty, Gustafsson deserves 1, I think, because I'm sure it's Gustafsson in front of the crease. Well, he wasn't quite in front screening. It's just a wicked shot.
Well, it took a deflection, though. Came off, looks like it came off one of the Finn players going up the point.
And Gustafsson was there sniping, poking.
Oh, yeah. You know, it had to pay off eventually, Gary. There's just too much pressure, and you know, it came. They must have had at least now 10 good shots from the points, and you just can't get that many with good shooters.
Well, let's open the crowd up a little bit. They're looking a bit serious. Perhaps that's the finish section.
It might be, yeah.
Well, they've been waiting for that to happen, what, for 30 minutes. 30 minutes of play. It looked like Sweden were going to pop one. And finally, Nicholas Lindström does get the goal. 12:51 gone, third period, whole new hockey game.
Well, Finland are going to have to wake up now. They've been sitting on that one goal lead too long, and now it's 1-1. And I'm sure they realize they just can't sit around any longer.
Well, they opened up with their defence, pushing forward and helping the forwards. And that's what they'll have to do again if they want to take the points from this one. Here come the Swedes, though. Rundqvist to Karnbach. Karnbach drops off the pass. Hakanlub keeps it in. Plays it round the back to Karnbach, and Hakanlub, away from the play, was levelled. But now Tuomisto. Not seen much of him in this game. He could be a key player for the Finns if he gets something going. Circles in front of the crease, looking for something. Nothing comes from Suman this time.
Saying Tuomisto was a key man in the last couple of games. He's always been involved in the goals and a lot of the hard play.
We've just seen Werther right up with the attack again, so he knows what he's got to do, but now he's got to get back. And he holds his man down. And is there a penalty? Yes. Referee Morozov.
Look at Sweden indicating for the penalty shot.
He's not giving a penalty shot. In 2 minutes. 2 minutes against Werther. Well, he'd been pushing up with the forwards, and he got caught out, had to get back, had to do something. Is that what you call a good penalty?
Well, it's a good penalty, I suppose, but the thing is, he shouldn't have been that far up ice to get himself in that situation. He was caught late coming back, and he had to hook him. I think this time of night, when you're looking at 1-1 and you're under pressure, you know, you can't afford to get caught up too far up ice.
14:11 gone. Werther goes for hooking, and Sweden have a power play.
Well, the power play hasn't been very potent, but right now I think with a key player like Werther out, it's going to get a couple of tired legs back out on the ice. Wouldn't be surprised to see Blomqvist out there, possibly Lorela. And they've had a lot of ice time, so if Sweden can get the legs going and get something set up here, they could take the lead quite easily.
Well, I think the Swedish defensemen will try and put some pressure on and try and help their forwards. Power play goal then, and Sweden start with Viktorsson left wing, Berglund at centre, and Johansson on the right wing. Paul Berglund looks around to check his options. Keskinen will try and a defensive forward. Keskinen, he'll try and steal possession. Doesn't get it. Berglund gets it. It's back to Ken Holt. He has to fake the shot, can't get it across to Peter Anderson. Still down the right wing. Ken Holt with the long shot. Jutila flies in to cover up. Johansson can't get his stick down onto it, and it's in the big lobster pot glove of netminder Tammy. Listen to the crowd now, though. Sweden pushing for this on the power play.
Yeah, they're wound up for sure. I see Finland are trying to box a little bit, and Sweden getting the men in front. They've got Rutinen out there on defense, and he's trying to keep that net clear. He's going to be trying to fight everything in sight, but they'll have to be careful they don't get another penalty.
Well, Werther can do naught but sit and watch. He's got to sit out 2 minutes for that hooking penalty. Timed at 14:11. About 40 seconds into the power play. Berglund, Viktorsson. Berglund hustles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 players in there hustling for it. Ken Holt. Ken Holt again. And it hops over his stick, so Anderson has to scoot back and pick up possession. Ken Holt takes it forward to Anderson. Anderson goes through the middle. Tries to stick handle through, can't quite get there. Ken Holt with the blast. That goes wide. Johansson turns it round the back. Berglund leaves it. Viktorsson. Finland desperately trying to get it clean, just can't. Berglund gets it back to Ken Holt. Ken Holt's shot comes off the backboard, and Peter Anderson buries it.
They had 2 chances here to clear that puck, Finland did. 2 chances to get it out, and they missed it twice.
And the defenseman, one blasts, it goes wide and comes back off the backboards. And Peter Anderson steams in to collect and fire it straight back into the net. Well, it's a cracking goal, a power play goal. Comes at 15-12 in the third period. For the very first time, with less than 5 minutes to go, Sweden get in front. There's Kenhold's blast. Tammy just back up on his feet. Couldn't do much about Peter Anderson's blast, could he?
Well, he did the top shot.
Oof. That one was smoking all the way. And the fans and Anderson celebrate in style. 15-12 gone, 2-1 the score. Sweden get their noses in front at last. Finland paying the price for sitting back on a 1-goal lead, and perhaps paying the price for tired legs. Still, there's over 4 minutes to go, like I say. Anything could happen yet, and the Finns get a quick shot away to try and get level. Would have gone quiet then if they'd scored there.
Yeah, it's up to Finland now. They really have to push hard. They're going to have to get everybody up ice.
Well, the Swedes have seen what it cost Finland when they sat back on a 1-goal lead. They don't look as though they're going to sit back on this one. They bring it for themselves. Hammerstrom loses out though, and the Finns get a chance to build through Suominen.
They need a face-off soon, Gary. They got to get that goaltender out of the net.
And Lorilla gets it forward to Suominen. Suominen takes it in. It's a long blast and the keeper covers up and he'll take the whistle. So Sweden celebrating at last. 4 minutes to go. They lead it by 2-1 with their noses in front for the very first closing minutes then, and it's still Sweden 2, Finland 1, and the roar of the crowd here in the Globe Arena spurring on the host nation. If they can keep the scoreline like this, they'll take the lead in the round-robin Swedish hockey games and get their noses in front of the big red machine from Russia. So lots to play for, but Finland only a goal down. Alex Dampier, they'll be looking to try and get back into this one now.
Well, they've got to soon, Gary, otherwise it's time to really start thinking about what you can do with your special teams, getting that goaltender out of the net and trying to get the 6th player on there. But they've still got a few minutes left before that happens. It's still wide open. Anything can happen right here.
Well, it's tight as far as the scoreboard reads, even though Sweden have had most of the play. A tricky one there for goalkeeper Lindmark. He chested it down in the end. Finns getting a chance to set up again, but it's spoiled by Karlbach, centre ice. And the Swedes will probably go into time-killing mode about now, won't they?
Well, that could be dangerous. I think what they want to do, they want to keep that puck down the Finn end and still keep the pressure on them. Don't let them attack. Don't let them set up any kind of motion, any kind of set plays.
Here come the Finns. Nice side step then from Kiebela. But he's going the wrong way now. Turns and tries to get something going. His teammates not helping. Henriksen, the defenseman, cuts across to open it up a bit. Kiebela has to go through on his own. And a flopping shot into keeper Lindmark. A little bit casual from the keeper.
Well, that was a good play. Bit of an individual effort. They don't seem to be working together just now, the Finns, but the chances were there.
Sweden play it long range towards Johansson, but it's the Finnish defence, the blue line, as they bring it forward through Blomqvist, and it pops over into the Finnish team bench. And the Finns now scrambling forward. Oh, that one hit some pipe work, I believe, or at least Lindmark. Last 2 minutes of the game.
Boy, 2 chances just went there, Gary. A crossbar and a puck hopped over the stick, virtually an open net.
Well, it's pandemonium. Sweden trying to hang on. 11,000 fans cheering them to hang on. A few Finnish fans urging their boys to get something. Look at Blomqvist using the glove there.
Well, Finland need that puck in. They've got to get to the center ice and put it in and try to get a face-off, get something set up.
Blomqvist and Eriksson hacking away at each other behind the play still. It's come to naught at the moment. The scoreboard still reads Sweden 2, Finland 1. As we approach the last minute.
That could be a bad play right there. is what Finland wanted. They've got the face-off. I expect they'd have the goalie out by now.
Well, the Swedes send their number 1 line out there to try and kill the penalty. Rundqvist at centre. Not the penalty, to kill the last minute, I mean. Rundqvist at centre, Karlbach, Hakenlube, Tony Evanson telling his team, keep your heads. You've got our noses in front, get ready to go if any of these guys have a big hard shift. Berglund, your man up. And there's Tammy. Key role for the Finns. But
I'm surprised he's not out of the net, Gary. I thought they might have had him out.
And he was looking across to the bench. So perhaps he'll hightail it. As soon as they win possession, they've won possession. Oh, nothing's happening there. The Swedes are quite happy, but there's a shot from Jarvenpää. Now the Finns get a chance. Again to set up from deep. Tammy's still in the net, so perhaps they're worried about goals against average overall in a round-robin tournament. Still 5 skaters against 5 at the moment. Finns hustling it forward. Tommy Johnson gets a piece of it. Kenholt runs his man in the boards. There's a lot of Kenholt to run you in the boards. Jarvenpää again. Jarvenpää virtually anchors himself in front of the goal for a minute there, but nothing comes from it. Rundqvist plays it a long way up. Here's Hakenlube. Can't get the pass forward to Karlbach. There goes Tammy. Last few seconds they go for the extra skater. The Finns try with 6 skaters against 5. Peltonen comes the length. Lindmark gets a piece of it, and Johnson mops up and clears away. There's the hooter. Sweden hang on. 2 goals to 1. Good game, Alex.
Yeah, it was a good game. I just, Finland did have some chances towards the end, and they should have that extra skater, I would have thought, and the extra man might have just made the difference.
2 goals to 1, and they outshot them 2-1. Keskinen, the goal in the second period at 1:33. Lidström and Andersson in the third to bring Sweden back into it and in front. From Alex Dampier and myself, Gary Moran, I hope you enjoyed it, and enjoy the highlights.